Okay, today, boys and girls, we're going to talk about clauses and simple sentences. What is a clause? A clause is a special grammar word that means a group of words containing a subject and a predicate. Isn't that a sentence? Well, yes, but they are parts of different types of sentences. Two types of clauses that we can have are independent clause and dependent clause. What is an independent clause? An independent clause has a subject and a predicate, expresses a complete thought, and can stand alone as a sentence. So an independent clause is equal to a sentence, but it's not always just the sentence. And we'll get more into that later. Some examples would be the celery is in the fridge, an apple fell from the tree. Both can stand on their own as a sentence, so I could just add a capital letter and an end mark and I'd be good. But there are some sentences when they can have other parts with them, so we're just going to keep it without the capitals and periods for now. How I remember this: I am an independent adult. I can cross the street by myself. My daughter is dependent. She cannot cross the street by herself. She'd get hurt because she wouldn't know to stop for cars and other things like that. I know it's silly saying I'm like a sentence, but it just helps me remember. Independent means be able to do things on your own. What is a dependent clause? A dependent clause has a subject and a predicate, just like an independent clause, but it does not does not express a complete thought. It cannot stand on its own. So if it doesn't express a complete thought, can it be a sentence? No. It has to have some extra help, and it'll make more sense here in a little bit. Here's an example. When Henry went outside. This is a dependent clause because it is not a complete thought. We can't just capitalize it and put a period. It wouldn't make any sense. What about when Henry went outside? We need more information. What is a simple sentence? A simple sentence is a sentence made up of one independent clause. Remember, that's the kind of clause that stands on its own. In English, simple means one. So there's one independent clause. Sam went down the street. We have one subject and one predicate and one thought. What is the simple sentence with compound parts? Sorry, that's kind of confusing with the words going like that. Sam and Henry ran up the street. Notice there are two subjects. Julie swam and splashed in the pool. Notice that there are two verbs. Compound, if we remember from our conjunctions video, compound in English means more than one. So here we have more than one subject and more than one verb. How do we label these? Compounds are labeled as a C plus the part that is repeated. For example, simple sentence compound subject would have CSN because there is more than one subject noun. So in our example, Sam and Henry ran up the street. There are two subject nouns. Then the rest of it will be labeled normally. Simple sentence compound verb. That means we have a simple sentence, but it has more than one verb. Julie swam and splashed in the pool. Swam and splash have a compound verb labeled because there's more than one verb. So compound verb, compound verb. The rest of the sentence is labeled as normal. When we are doing our Shirley assignments, they will ask you to make a simple sentence or see if something's a simple sentence or a simple sentence with a compound verb or a simple sentence with a compound subject. Notice how it says SCS for simple sentence compound subject noun instead of SN or N. So just be aware of that. We don't actually label the sentences like that unless we're just asked for an assignment. So simple sentence is S, compound verb is abbreviated SCV, so simple sentence compound verb, and simple sentence compound subject noun is abbreviated SCS. Okay, let's try these two sentences together. Luke ran and jumped into the lake. If I was labeling, Luke would be my subject noun. Okay, what is being said about Luke? Luke ran and jumped. So I have two verbs. What do I do? Oh yeah, when I have more than one, it's compound. So I'm going to put a C. Now, one thing that people get confused with is if they see a conjunction, they automatically think that that C means a conjunction, but it doesn't. C by itself is a conjunction, but C with another part of speech is a compound. Okay, and then we have a prep phrase here. Remember, we always start with our preposition and always end with the object of the preposition. So that's like that vanilla Coke or whatever flavored pop that we talk about. I'm not going to do the rest. Your slash would go normal here. All right, so now in this sentence, let me switch colors just so we can see. Barb and Tony ate their pizza. Notice how there are two subjects. Who ate their pizza? Barb and Tony. So that's going to be a compound subject noun. Conjunction. Compound subject noun. Your compound subjects and verbs are going to be surrounded, or not surrounded, but there will be a conjunction in there to give you that hint. All right, what is being said about Barb and Tony? Barb and Tony ate. Verb. Ate what? Pizza. Now, we haven't really studied this. This is a later pattern, but we're going to put a direct object on there just because Mrs. Ear put on a tougher sentence. And then whose pizza? We know this is a possessive pronoun adjective. Sorry, this is really hard to do with the computer mouse. All right, and then our slash would go between the last subject and our verb. We could have two subjects and two verbs in the sentence. We just label them the same way with the compound. All right, now clear this. And we'll move on. All right, now it's your turn. Copy and label these sentences and bring them into class. They should follow all of the rules we've studied so far. So label as much as you can and we will go over these together. All right, don't forget to bring your grammar book or grammar notebook back with you tomorrow.